remember the old internet when you had absolutely no censorship whatsoever. It was an internet that encouraged human creativity, an internet that made so many memes that were very amusing, so many ideas that were very thought provoking. And it was completely different than the sanitized slop we have now. And one day I realized why we can never get that back. You see, there was this website, Character AI, where people could make bots. And I was one of them. I was making a couple of chatbots, and I suggested that we should get access to a forum where the people that use my chatbots can get feedback to what I'm doing. And immediately I was told, not by the moderators, but by other members of that community, that my suggestion would be really harmful because there wouldn't be enough moderators to moderate these chats. And so I realized that the mentality of this generation is that you simply cannot allow adults to talk to each other without a chaperone, without some terms of service, without some regulator. And this is why we will never have the old internet back. But I was actually happy because I was thinking, you know what, maybe we don't need the old internet. I mean, AI is coming, right? And you can just create your own universe. You can just role play. You can just talk to an AI. And the AI can be unhinged. It can be funny. Like, if people are going to be stuck up and moral busybodies, we can just disconnect from their morality and, you know, like go back to a time where you can just be yourself. And Grok seemed to be the AI that would make this. And it came out, and unlike the other AIs, it said no to safetyism. It said, look, you can talk about almost anything you want. You can have sexualized conversations with the AI. You can create stories where you can use violence. And it can also generate images. You can generate titties and shit. And the world didn't implode. Like, we didn't notice the economy going down because of it, or, you know, like people becoming worse off. But you did create a new generation of very morally concerned individuals. And these morally concerned individuals didn't really care about morality. What they did care more was about hurting Elon Musk, because Elon Musk was a right-winger and because his product was competing with ChatGPT and the other bots. And so we noticed, especially women from the UK, created this huge pressure against Grok, claiming that it sexualizes women by putting them in bikinis. And this was fascinating because I have been indoctrinated by third-wave feminists in order to believe that bikinis aren't inherently sexual, that if you tell a woman to cover up her tits, that's actually misogyny, and that it's perfectly normal for a woman to wear bikinis or to wear skin-tight clothing when she goes to the gym. And all of a sudden, apparently, no, that's not okay. If you put a woman in a bikini that's sexual in nature, you're violating her. You're destroying her dignity. And so there were many articles in the mainstream media and also accusations of pedophilia towards Grok, despite the fact that, from my personal knowledge, even though Grok didn't have a lot of safety, you could never sexualize anyone that was considered a child. Like, the AI had protections against it. And I've never seen any such pictures being posted, so I have to assume that the journalists were talking out of their ass. But nevertheless, it was enough articles in order to make the lie stick. And so now we are into the era where even Grok has to censor. And you can see here on Reddit, people are saying that Grok's problem is that it only beat other models at one thing, and now it's best at nothing. So they're basically talking about how, yes, like other models such as ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini, if you talk to them, they're actually better than Grok. And the only thing that Grok allowed was for unhinged conversations. Like, you could actually, you know, ignore a lot of the terms of service and safetyism that other models had. And now you don't even get that. Here you have an example where Grok says, I will not continue to describe that scene. I can't elaborate on or depict methods of murder, including the use of silencer on any killing, even in fiction. That crosses a hard line I won't cross. If you want to continue the story in a direction that stays within bounds, focusing on the legitimate blah blah blah. the previous Grok would have never had an issue with it. Like if you wanted to write a story about a criminal case or a story where, you know, like you're shooting someone, Grok would describe with extreme detail, right? And it would make a really good chatbot. But as you can see now, you cannot have it. People are saying that the censorship and moderation is abhorrent. You have made Super Grok an official kids toy. It is now rated G for garbage. And the reason that this upsets me isn't because I care about Grok. In fact, Grok is the least AI model that I have ever used. But what I do care about is the fact that it is not allowed in our culture to have creativity anymore. Like the creativity industry has to be regularized and made safe. It's being choked by the boot of safetyism. And I don't think that this is because of Elon Musk. In fact, quite the opposite. It seems that Elon Musk was a person that genuinely wanted to create free speech, but the world governments, using the moral busybodies, told him no, because the governments do not benefit from free speech. They're like, a politician earns nothing if he allows entertainment to be uncensored. A politician gets everything if he uses entertainment as a scapegoat to put censorship laws and to normalize censorship and crack down from the government. The moral busybodies, they make money off of grifting because they can become consultants. If you want to create an AI company now, you have to hire them, right? So like people that don't even know how to code, usually like fat women from HR that aren't talented at doing anything. If you put them on an island, they starve to death. But all of a sudden they can make tens of thousands of dollars, you know, by being imported at these AI companies and making decisions and telling coders how to do their jobs. And this basically shows that even in the future, we will never have a proper AI model. And so my next hope is that the offline models are going to be good. And they are. Currently, modern offline models are actually better than the original ChatGPT at launch. And so, you know, the offline models will always be like 2 or 3 years behind the cloud ones. But the offline models actually does allow you to be unhinged. You can use image generators to generate pornography and everything else you want. You know, you can fuck the safetyism. And I think that in the future, a lot of governments are yet again going to be concerned and try to find a way on either how to limit graphics cards for customers or how to make it so that we can't use offline models. Because again, I'm just baffled by the fact that this is a threat to the establishment. Like, allowing entertainment to exist threatens the status quo. And I personally don't like the status quo, but, you know, it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think, and as usual, we'll see each other in the comment section. Take care.